Here we are on the Rift. 4v4, 5 point, 1000 cap. Team 1's ANS, Team 2 is OSP. Everybody is spreading out. Potential to be a very messy, very scrappy game. Nice thing about the Rift is all the points are equidistant apart from each other. There's not really much in the way of weird off side points that won't see much fighting, but we'll see capping and counter recapping. The Light of the Lord. A gold and white Solomon with the tag of Holy. Looks like a beam Solomon. Certainly going to be getting the light of someone. Oh yeah, 3 beam turrets. That's menacing. Got a beam destroyer with him. A mass driver destroyer. Good old St. Peter here. Heavenly Gates. I hate this so much. And then a anti-missile scout. Interesting. And we got basic pair of Axfords. And a very robust Axford with lots of missiles. Lots of very expensive missiles. A PD, beams, and a gun. This thing is... It doesn't really... I'm not sure about this. It's too well-rounded. It's got a bunch of different jobs, but it's not going to do any of them well. Some pair of gun voxels with type 3s on the backpack. There's some standard torpedoes. Could be good little finishers. And a point defense scout. Okay, interesting team. The ANS, what is the spread on this frigate? Oh no. Here we go again. Rocket launcher frigates. The people love them, my lord. Look at that spread on those. That is going to be an absolute nightmare to micro. Good luck, buddy. You're going to need it. We have T-30s and plasmas. And this guy, pretty menacing. Especially with all the big ships on the ANS team. If there isn't more plasma on this team, that's not going to be enough to deal with the Solomon or the Axfords. 2 plasmas. Not enough. Whole lot of guns on this. This is overgunned. A lot of cannons in its PD slots. And then a rocket frigate. That's quite a powerful and dangerous crew. I think they can do some serious work on those voxels. Container ship? Wait. A container ship with other things? Oh, I see. This is a container ship with guns on it. And jammers. Now that's unfortunate. And an illuminator and an EWR. So it's looking like it's going to be a 3v4. Some rocket launchers on these Ocellos. And some 450s. Mass driver monitor. Bloodhound with some containers. And 2 bellbirds. Very strange. Pretty standard fleet comp out of the ANS. Incredibly weird fleet comp out of the OSP. And the fighting has already begun. Those rocket frigates are going to have to carry the day. And those rocket frigates are firing extremely early into a very strong point defense nest. Oh. All I did has to talk about that, how that might not be a good idea, and boom, instant connects. Misses on the other one, unfortunate. Looks like we got containers coming in, but an illuminator, so these might be semi-actives? No, okay. With boosted, those are the cluster decoys, is what those are. And it's very effective. Oh my goodness. 3 hits into the engineering section of this Axford. Which puts its whole everything back here down. He's got 2 critical cook-offs happening. The reactors and the drives are below functional health. That is a phenomenal start for the OSP team. And this Voxel is also in big trouble. Also looks like there was a cap on Delta, but he got cleaned up by the Beam Solomon. And is continuing to be cleaned up by the Beam Solomon. Was that a white laser? How do you do that? How do you color your lasers? Or maybe it's just a factor of the map? I don't know. Alright, what else is getting missiled over here? Nothing, actually. Now there is too much PD. That Axford, I'm surprised it's functioning. Can I click on this, please? Yeah, I mean, just barely. Those micros are keeping it alive. Mass driver support coming in from that one mass driver ship. Rockets going out. Few hits. Yeah, covered in Auroras. He hasn't gotten the memo yet. That Auroras do not cut it against the spam power of the OSP. Vakalintu's fleet is falling apart. More of these decoy containers, which are incredibly strong, are also incredibly expensive. But it doesn't matter. They get the job done. Look at that. Didn't have to worry about point defense. Didn't snake anything through. Just direct fired. How many of those you got left, Chief? 30. Well, guess I spoke far too soon on that front. 30 more of those is probably enough to take out most of the rest of the ANS fleet. Those are absolutely devastating. OSP's got a significant cap lead. It's actually the Solomon that's going to be the first to take a point for the ANS. Those scout rocket frigates got some damage out on these Axfords. But securing those points is good. Looks like another rocket frigate coming in here. Or maybe he's already blasted off his payload. Yep. Just hanging around, waiting to die. Being an annoyance. Providing scouting, possibly providing good tracks for the mass driver ship. Let's go down to this gun battle here. Butt towards enemy, as is tradition. These Axfords are getting the hell out of there. They don't want any of this T-30 ship, which really shouldn't be threatening to them. In fact, the only part of them it should be threatening to is the backside, which they have presented rather politely. This... Yeah, this is pretty dangerous. especially to that backside. Yeah, he's burning in flank. Ah. I don't know what the hell happened here, but all the front thrusters got knocked out. Presumably that's due to a rocket barrage. You don't see that very often, so if he wants to get away, he has to face the other direction. It's a big problem. Not going to be able to stop either. No braking thrusters at all.
The enemy is securing zone dagger.
On the front side.
The enemy secured zone Atlas.
More rockets going off. These voxels just got hammered by small ships with rockets right out of the gate, and it messed up their PD enough that now even just a few rockets can dish out a lot of damage. Speaking of rockets, I think we just missed it. Oh no, it's going over here. Aha, there it is. Let's get cleaned up by this Axford's PD pretty effectively.
Enemy secured zone dagger.
Yep. And what I thought was going to be a virtual build victory, the ANS, with Zane having what appeared to be a troll container ship build, but has been quite effectual with it. It's shaping up to be a very strong start for the OSP and hopefully a good match overall. Another round of containers coming in. Zane's just about out, but if he can take out all the big threats that the ANS has, that's not going to matter. Point defense doesn't know what to shoot at. We got decoys flying in. Oh, and there are the containers right into the rear of the bridge and the engineering section. This Axford is going down hard. Zane's pretty happy with himself, and that's understandable. These decoy containers are something else. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Unfortunate that the second volley seems to have been wasted on this virtually dead Axford. A lot of hits going into the front of the ship. There's not really anything to take damage. Looks like this reactor's probably gonna go critical. I don't think this repair team can fix that in time. Axford remains, and this Solomon is he got destroyed by something. I don't know what happened here, because we saw, was it just the two rocket ships? It must have been, because one round of rockets did some serious damage, so another round of rockets probably would have done, well, this. Might have also gotten hit by a slew of containers. Nah, if that was the case, this thing would be dead. So probably just a few rocket barrages. Unlike the last match I recorded, which is a one-side slam fest, and which I'm not going to be uploading. I didn't upload, I should say. This has been pretty one-sided, but it's been, in my opinion, very entertaining. So I believe I will upload it. I love this map. All the little these sorts of things on it where you can hide ships in. Like this. This is so silly. And only some ships will fit in certain places. Torpedoes coming out of these voxels. More decoys. Ooh, decoys are going to be a big problem for those AMMs. It's going to eat a lot of them. Yeah, there goes that Axford. As expected. Ooh, okay. I'm not sure what happened with that. It didn't look like it got hit by an AMM. It just sort of poofed. Seems like the point defense on the OSP team is significantly more robust than the point defense on the ANS team. And these pylons aren't going to do anything. Axford's still fighting, but I don't think it's going to be fighting for long. This gunned up Ocello can handle finishing this off, especially with the mass driver support. Interesting little battle between a couple of scouts going on over here. Let's have another container coming in to finish off the job. Where is that going? It's just sniffing. This is what you do with your Ocello. You keep that front towards the enemy. Get those deflections. Oh my. Rocket blast might have been targeted at this. I just sort of went everywhere. Voxel's limping away. Looks like both the drives, yeah, the main reactor and one of the radar drives has been downed. This Axford, that's probably it for that. Oh, man. What's still around and firing rails? Ah, this.
The enemy is securing zone dagger.
Boom on this. Alright, where are these containers going? Not sure if they're going to deal with the mass driver or to finish off the Solomon. Looks like that Axford is Dunsky. This has one AMM launcher, which is not going to be enough to deal with these. Especially not with their decoys. finish off that. Oh my. Is Solomon caught back to be alive just enough to cap Delta? Looks like there's a solution coming in for that though. Oh, not quite enough maneuverability on those. A few land, but several misses. Can't really afford that with a whopping 0 containers remaining. Good dodge out of the Solomon player. It is not going to be enough, I think. Pushing on with all those fires. Only 4 damage teams remaining. These sprinters with the frigate brigade, the shuttle team, I should say, being out on the OSP team, these sprinters could still win the game with caps. So we can see there's one on Charlie, one on Echo.
The enemy secured zone Eclipse.
Looks like this shuttle's moving in to start counter capping. Those behind us there, they really are going to have to cap every single point and hold them.
The enemy secured zone Comet.
These two are moving quite slowly. Not sure what that's about. Looks like these voxels aren't dead. I wouldn't exactly say they're combat worthy. I think they've spent all their pylums. Oh yeah. Still got 3 on one of them. Well, I'm not sure what on the OSP team can actually be damaged by those. Even the container ship has enough point defense to dodge that. Should I tell him? I don't know. It is kind of at a weird point. So funny how hard it can be actually when you're on the ground in the battle to tell how the teams are balancing out. Oh dear. Combat information centers are burning down on this Solomon. But those can probably be solved. I just don't know what's left for the Solomon to contribute. He's got 1 beam turret, which could do some damage to a scout.
The enemy is securing zone Atlas.
Looks like the sprinter and Assault team might be engaging.
The enemy is securing zone Comet.
He's firing the rockets at an extremely long range. 4 rockets. And this voxel, yeah, all those are gonna miss. Awesome. 1 hit. It was enough, though. That voxel turned off as soon as that landed. Allowed for the second volley. To hit.
The enemy secured zone common.
Yeah. Is Axford still mobile? No. So that's out of the fight. It works, though. God, it works. I didn't want to do that with my containers because it's just so expensive. But obviously it works.
The enemy is securing zone boxer.
Goodness.
The enemy is securing zone dagger. The enemy secured zone boxer.
These voxels are trying so hard, dude. And the sprinters. Trying so hard to pull a victory out. After all that. Surprised he isn't moving his container in to try to cap points since it's out of missiles. That would probably be the best use of that at this point. This is the standard
The enemy secured zone dagger.
wartime experience. I don't know what the fuck is happening, man. It's too funny. I think the OSP is just gonna barely nab this one though. Especially if that mass driver can keep knocking out targets. Oh. I don't think this has any guns on it, no. Means as long as something stays on the points that are currently capped, which looks like that's what's happening. Won't be able to counter cap. This Solomon is trying so hard to come back to life. I don't think it has enough electricity. Yeah, that's the match. OSP just passed the 900 mark. this Ocello in the middle of the map is finishing off the last few functional ships. And when Nebula slows down to a crawl, it really slows down to a crawl. That was a fast and brutal fight,
The enemy is securing Zone Atlas.
followed by a very slow, struggling point battle. And a few remaining ships on the map. Twist their broken remains into whatever useful shape they can.
The enemy is securing Zone Dagger. The enemy secured Zone Atlas.
It's not gonna matter.
The enemy secured Zone Boxer.
Oh my. It did manage to kill something with its beam turrets. Incredible. Still has 2 restores remaining somehow. But it's too little too late. The game is over.
The enemy is securing Zone
Pretty funny, though. Came back alive right at the end to kill a couple shuttles.
The enemy secured Zone.
Madness. Yeah, let's take a look at that first. 8.6, that's not what you want to see on a Solomon. Oh my. 66 from the mass driver. Only 1 hit. That's kind of a problem. These Axfords also got just annihilated by missiles before they could do that much. Well, one of them did, and then the other one fought for a while. And it was this Axford, the one on the other side of the map, that got annihilated before it could do anything. Just popped some shots at some shuttles that had already expended their munitions. Which is not gonna help you very much. I gotta take a look. Where is it? This. 31,000. Okay, that's good. Man, look at how many of these things got through. That is an unreal efficacy on those. Those decoys. Goodness. That's pretty good. That is pretty good on that. God. Look at these rocket ships. These are so dumb, but I mean, almost 5K on this? With just a bunch of piranhas? A lot of these didn't do anything, though. On balance, this did pretty good. Obviously, the capping was hugely important to secure their victory. Okay, there. 21,000 on an Ocello and 18,000 on this Ocello. It's pretty good. It's damn sight better than the Ocellos we've been seeing. Although a huge chunk of that comes from these piranhas. We could have done way more if he wasn't firing at such a long range. This one, on the other hand, was just shooting. Just had way more guns than sense and just shot people to pieces. Very good work on that. And you're lucky as hell you didn't get punished for not bringing PD. That's the game. Good night.